Good girl.
Before we start any adventure, I like to do a couple of quick recalls to remind Luna to pay attention to me at all times when out in the wild. While we have done some shorter hikes, this will be our first overnight, deep in the woods, sleeping in a tent.
Good job. Okay, go.
When she's off leash in the forest, I want her to explore all the wonderful smells at her own pace, but always with an ear tuned into me so she can bolt to my side in an instant. I've been training her for hiking since I got her, but our adventures were limited by the pandemic. For more than 2 years, traveling across the border from Canada to my home state of Vermont hasn't been easy due to public health restrictions, but finally those rules are loosening, and now zipping down to Eden for a late evening climb up Belvedere Mountain is feasible. And one of the main reasons I wanted a border collie was so that she would have the drive to keep up with me as I trudge through the Green Mountains at a steady clip, exploring the oldest long-distance hiking trail in the United States that runs from Massachusetts to the Canadian border.
Luna, this way.
Through hiking the long trail as a young man changed my life, and now 24 years later, I revisit small sections of it whenever I can. This time, we didn't hit the trail until about 6:30 p.m., and knowing there was only about 2 hours of daylight left, I had a decision to make.
Smell anything? All right, let's go. Come on, silly. Excuse me. I think you're going the wrong way. Oh, good. Right through the mud.
Personally, I love night hiking,
Okay.
guided by my headlamp and
We're
the
going
white blazes that dot the trail. There is only about 5 miles between my car and the designated campsite, a relatively easy trek for me no matter if it's night or day. But I started to worry about Luna navigating the rocky terrain in the dark or bumping into a nocturnal predator of some kind when out of my sight. If I got hurt, I would feel foolish. If she got hurt, it would feel absolutely unforgivable. So when the sun started to set, I veered off the long trail into the mountain's summit with hopes of finding a place to pitch my tent.
How you doing, Luna? You okay? You're a little wet and dirty. And stinky. In this tiny tent, huh? You gonna be okay? Yeah? Oh, you gotta come give me a kiss? Hi. Hi, Luna. Oh, thank you. You'll be okay.
It got a little cold in the night. It's only about 2 in the morning, and we're on top of a mountain in Vermont, so it did get quite cold. But Luna has joined me in my sleeping bag, which is a summer bag, and now she's much warmer, and I am much warmer, which is good, but my head is cold. I had brought a winter hat, but then I used it to filter some water into a water container, and so I got it all wet. And now I don't have a winter hat, so my head is cold, but at least I have Luna here, keeping me warm.
So here I am eating ramen at 3 in the morning. I decided to make ramen because I was rather cold. Luna was keeping me warm, but because this is a single-person air mattress, I was uncomfortable and not able to sleep. But I have ramen, and ramen solves everything. So the problem is I brought a bag that's rated for 10 degrees Celsius. It is currently 6 degrees Celsius in Eden, Vermont, but I'm on top of a mountain, so I'm guessing it's quite a bit colder than 6 degrees. I was shaking while trying to make my ramen, really shivering pretty bad, but no, not dangerous bad, but it's very uncomfortable. And Luna's okay as long as she's pressed against me, so that's exactly what she's doing. She's keeping nice and close to me. The thing is that this air mattress is very small for the both of us. Now, I want to say that I brought a 10-degree summer bag, thinking I was going to be sleeping at a lower elevation, and that I would be able to use my sleeping bag liner, which then would make it pretty appropriate for the weather. But I decided at the last minute to cover my air mattress with my sleeping bag liner in order to protect it from Luna's nails. And I think that was a good decision because she has been walking and crawling and sleeping on the air mattress, and it's a very expensive air mattress. So the downside of that, of course, is that I am cold. But, grew up in the Northeast, pretty okay with cold. I just wish I had some gloves. That's how cold it is. But I have ramen, and ramen makes me happy. So, cheers to ramen.
We crawled out of the tent just before dawn and watched in awe as the sun rose to the east, illuminating the vast expanse of green below. We could see Jay Peak and Quebec's featureless plains to the north. To the east, west, and south was nothing but mountains, largely untouched and wild. It was Luna's second birthday, and despite the rough night, she seemed happy to be outside. And every time we get to a good view, I find it interesting how she seems just as mesmerized as I am by the beauty. She will sit still and soak it all in, appearing to be deep in thought. Maybe she's contemplating the sheer vastness of the world, or maybe she's just overwhelmed by all the smells swirling in the breeze. Unfortunately, I will never know what she's truly thinking, but I am sure it's more profound than the average dog. And I'm not just saying that out of bias. Luna's intelligence astounds me, my friends, and my family every day. Anyway, after carefully packing up my gear and making sure I left no trace, Luna and I wandered back down the mountain, this time at a much slower pace, so I could snap photos and enjoy a tranquility so different from the bustling cityscape that surrounds our home on Montreal's South Shore. Hiking with Luna was amazing. The way she is tuned into me these days has exceeded my expectations. She is always scouting ahead, ensuring the coast is clear and alerting me to anything unusual like wildlife or approaching hikers. She never barks, but instead stands still and stares at whatever has her attention. No matter if she's distracted by a grouse bursting from the underbrush or a chipmunk chittering aggressively at the intruders, Luna responds immediately to my commands. But commands aren't always required anymore. She will run back to check in on me without prompting and stand near me while I review a map, sip water, or take a break. This could easily be because she is a highly intelligent working line border collie, but I did work very hard at off-leash training since day one, using a lot of techniques taught by dog trainer, author, and YouTuber Zach George. Still, at this time last year, she would occasionally run out of sight for several minutes and cause me quite a bit of worry. So I worked at it every day, either in the small patch of woods by my house or at the disc golf course, getting her to always pay attention to me, never straying too far, and never losing track of where I am. Nowadays, she's a better hiking partner than most humans because she never quits, is always in a good mood, and she loves every minute of every adventure, no matter the challenges we face.